Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I love the nurses that come and see me.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
Since I learned about Angel Care, I would recommend them to anybody.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks as always to the producer and editor of our series, Jeff Durall. Also with camera work, Brian Cooley from Eagle Community Television. We're at the First Presbyterian Church in Hayes with the Executive Director of the Center for Life Experiences, Ann Leiker. The Center for Life Experiences housed in the First Presbyterian Church offices. And we wanted to visit with Ann on our Community Connection about the program itself and also Healing Kids' Hearts, a program of interest through the Center for Life Experiences. Let's start there if we could, Ann.
Sure.
Healing Kids' Hearts. What is it?
Well, it started a year ago, Mike. Actually, the planning started 2.5 years ago because it took a lot to get there. But last April, we had our first Healing Kids' Hearts retreat. It was held at Sternberg Museum. It was for children from ages 7 to 12 who had lost someone in their life, a significant other in their life. A lot of them were parents, uncles, aunts, siblings. And the purpose was to help them learn what it means to grieve in a healthy way, to deal with loss in a healthy way, so that, and because children, a lot of times when there's a loss in the family, the parents, the adults are, also dealing with their own losses, and there's a lot of other stuff going on. And so the children are the forgotten mourners.
And the age group is what again, Ann?
7 to 12.
Well, in your practical experience in working with all ages and all types, is 7 an appropriate time to kind of begin to help these children? Earlier than 7, is it a situation where maybe they can accept or deal with it a little easier and then it gets tougher as the children mature a bit?
Well, brain development affects how kids work, what they take in, how they react.
And process.
And so we, decided to kind of focus on this middle group for now. Younger children, they do need attention and help processing, but it's in a little bit different way than children who are kind of in this middle age. And teenagers also have very special ways that they deal. And so we just decided to start out with 7 to 12 because we had so many comments and requests for that age group. They're just starting, to come out into the world basically and interact with classmates. They have lots of questions, so that's why we chose that group. We sometimes, do a little bit of plus or minus. We go down depending on the age group, 6 to 13. Sometimes we're flexible depending upon the situation with the child and those kinds of things.
And so, some maturity of the child plays a part into it too.
Yes.
Describe the program. Talk to us about what are the implementations of the program. What's the core of the program? What does it do?
Well, the core of the program is focused around 3 basic activities. And last year we did a memory box. We did Christmas ornaments in memory, and we did, I have to stop and think because I've been so, and we have a balloon launch at the end of the day. What else did we? We did scrapbook pages.
Oh, okay.
Last year as well. And so it focuses around actual things that kids can do. We ask them to bring pictures that they can then put on the memory box, put in a scrapbook, they can do what they're doing in memory and to honor the relationship they had with that person they lost.
In a physical way, with
Yes.
physical objects such as Christmas ornaments, scrapbooks, and things like that.
And that gives the opportunity too, they have for the day, and this is why it takes a little bit of time to get ready for this, we match them with trained volunteers. And so they have a buddy who follows them from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And they develop conversations with the children about their loved one in positive ways, helping them to remember in positive ways. This year, we're doing the memory boxes again, and they come in and they can choose all kinds of things. They can draw on them, they can use stickers, they can bring pictures, they can do anything with that. And then we're also going to have an activity with building a birdhouse. We have the pieces all ready to go together. And Josh Tangway, who is a therapist that specializes in children, is going to be directing that activity and taking the kids through that. They'll be painting their birdhouse, doing all different kinds of things, helping them also to understand the process of what it means to process, to get through things, to deal with the loss, and what's healthy. And then this year, if the weather's good, we're going to have a walk on the nature trail where the kids can go along, and also if they see things that remind them of their loved one and stones or whatever along the trail, they can pick them up, and they'll be with their buddy and they can share and talk about memories, things that they can do. So that's what the day is built around, are those three main activities. And then we're also this year going to have some smaller stations, about 4 of them, so that if a child gets done with one thing and maybe wants to go do something else, we will have a scrapbook station, we'll have a candle making station. We're going to have a place where they can plant seeds and take them home and then plant them in a garden or a special place. And then there's a 4th one, and I'm drawing. Because a lot of kids really express themselves through drawing. So it's helping them to express their feelings in creative ways and then talking about them. So they're not necessarily getting into deep conversations about loss and grief, but they're working through it in healthy ways.
Where is the event? Where's
At
it held?
Sternberg Museum.
Okay.
And we have the big room on the first floor that's kind of the main area. And that's also where in the morning there's a session for parents that Myrna Jordan leads. She led it last year, she's leading it again this year. And then Josh Tankway will also be there. And then we have the upstairs room that can be divided, and it has a tile floor, so things with paint and all those kinds of things, and the kids and tables that they can work off of and just interact. And then if the weather's not good, we'll have a scavenger hunt within the museum. And then those people who want to stay, parents and kids who want to stay after, they can take a tour of the museum.
Is it a one-day event?
One day, from 9:30 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon.
From 7 to 12. All right. Are there spaces available still?
Still a few spaces. We do have a limit on the number of kids we can take, but I really want to let parents and adults know this is available, but we need to have their application back in by the 10th of March. And so if they need an application, they can call us at the center at 259-6859 and get an application so they get it back, because then we take the information from the application of both the volunteers and the children, and we sit down and look at who is best with who in terms, so that it's a good experience. And last year, it just was wonderful. And many of the volunteers are hospice volunteers.
So volunteers are making up a big part of this Healing Kids Hearts program.
Huge. As a matter of fact, it started out with four 4 grandparents and who were also parents. They lost children, and then their grandchildren were asking questions because they felt they could come to the grandparents. And the grandparents still, oh, I'm not sure what to say and how to help the kids. So they said, we need this. And these are grandparents and parents from the Healing Hearts group. And they said, Karen Gates was the one that took this and just ran with it and gathered other people in. And we visited and got information from other kids' camps like this throughout Kansas and other places to see how they did it. We had people come in and talk to us about how they did it, so we had some ideas to build on. And so it was volunteer driven, and basically Myrna, Jordan, and I just kind of helped guide them through our social work backgrounds and putting this together, and supported what they were doing.
Now these are for 7 to 12-year-olds. The deadline is March 10 for registration, is that right?
Right.
Call the Center for Life Experiences. What about cost?
It is $10 per child, and if you have more than one child, it's $5.
Wow.
So the cost is very minimal, and that covers all the supplies. It covers lunch, covers snacks. We were very fortunate this year that the Heartland Community Foundation gave us a grant for $5,000 to
Wow.
help us put this together. This is not just, we didn't just throw this together. This has been a very deliberate and well thought out process.
And this will be the second year of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you full last year too?
We had 14 registered last year.
And you're hoping for how many this year?
Our limit is 20 this
Okay.
year because we want to make sure the kids get all the attention and personal one-on-one, and we don't want to get it too overloaded with at this point. So we're going with 20, and we'll see. And then this year, one of the advantages with the grant is that we will also, say 3 other times during the year, get the kids together for time to share using local resources, local therapists to talk to the kids about how they're doing, how it's going, so that it's not just 1 year and then they have to go 12 months because there is still a lot of processing.
We only have a couple of minutes left, Ann, but tell us a little bit about the Center for Life Experiences, who it serves, and maybe a couple of the current programs in our final time.
The Center for Life Experiences serves anyone in our community or surrounding area. It's open to absolutely everyone. The First Presbyterian Church does host and sponsor the center, but it is based, Mike, on their faith that tells them that they need to care for their neighbors, care for the community. And so one of my favorite lines is, we don't get you in the door, lock you in, and make you become Presbyterian. We don't even make you say you're Presbyterian when you, when you register. That's not any part of what we do. It's welcoming anyone.
And it's connecting with individuals who are going through the same situations in life that you're experiencing.
Yes, because we find people have a lot of gifts and talents of their own. They're going through similar life situations. They've found things that work and don't work, and it gets people out of the isolation of thinking, oh, I'm the only one out there that's going through this. And so then that starts to open up conversations that are healing and supportive between people, and the bonds that people form are just amazing.
And finally, how do you get your funding?
Our funding comes through the congregation here at First Presbyterian funds a large part of it, and then we have major donors in the community that support our programming, and so we are always glad to have people who want to support our programs, give donations or gifts or memorials or whatever to us. And we do write grants.
And you can check Center for Life Experiences Facebook page, I guess, for the programs.
Yes.
The groups that are served by this remarkable organization.
Yes.
Headed by Executive Director Ann Leiker. Our Community Connection.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
My Angel Care physical therapist taught me how to do exercises safely.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible.
It gives us independence in our home.
Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.